boom, 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 boom. We should be back. We should be back. We should be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all hear me, put a 1 in the chat. That was weird. It honestly got worse after I reset my computer. I don't know what the hell just happened. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if y'all hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all hear me. If y'all are listening to this after the fact, I just had some technical difficulties. Had to reset the stream and things of that nature. But this should be the final stream. This should be it, okay? This should be it. Shout out to the 15 in the building. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, okay? Welcome back. Let's just start from the top, okay? Let's just start from the top. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Sipping with Souls, episode 17. Episode 17. I'm your host with the most B Souls, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout out to the early bird chat in the building. Shout out to the 19 in the building. Shout out to Absalom, JJ, TJ8, Lonely State, Dan, Prince77. It's just me, Chris Martin, DJ Glowzak, and also anyone and everyone that was in the stream before it ended. We just had some technical difficulties just now. I don't know what just happened. My whole setup just kind of reset. It fucked up with the router. I had to reset the whole router, but we're here though. We're live. We're in action. A lot of things to talk about during the stream. Okay? The main topic of today, as y'all can see with the title, Jason got exposed for selling out, allegedly, by the Fung Bros. For those who don't know who the Fung Bros are, they're some OG Asian YouTubers. And essentially, they called out Jason. However, now, the video that they released on him has been deleted. We'll get into that as the main topic today. Outside of that, apparently people are hating on Kai for releasing a movie. We're going to talk about that as well. Another situation of Black Boy Max's community messing with his success. What the hell is going on over here? In terms of what I'm sipping on today, this is Sipping with Souls. I got some Gatorade Zero. It's already been opened. It was fresh when I started the original stream, but got some Gatorade Zero. The blue one is the only valid one. Okay? The blue one is the only valid one. In terms of my shout out for today, shout out to the woman, man. You see what I'm saying? You see the shirt? I found this fire shirt at the mall the other day. Shout out to the woman. Specifically, shout out the national champion, Paige Beckers. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out the national champion, Paige Beckers, and the Yukon Huskies. New England is up, bro. New England is up. Okay. Be hyped for the snow on the tee. This ain't just a snow tee though. Shout out to Asia Wilson. I think Jordan Childs is on here. Juju Watkins is on here. Is Suni Lee on here? If Suni Lee ain't on here, that's kind of racist now. It's kind of racist. I think there's 2 soccer players on there. I don't know. But yeah, shout out to the Yukon Huskies. Shout out to New England, man. Shout out to New England. I made a tiki-talkie yesterday. New England is low-key coming up as a hoop region, man. Low-key. Most improved hoop region? Gotta be New England. Okay? So you might be asking, B Souls, why? Okay? First of all, these last couple of years, UConn basketball has just been dominant. Dominant on both men and women's. You know, obviously they had a chokehold on the women's game for a majority of the 2000s, I believe, but regardless, they've just been dominant. UConn almost had a three-peat this year, but nevertheless, they were still really good this year, and the women's team just won. Now, the real conversation is Connecticut a part of New England? Because Connecticut is like right on the border of New England, and depending on who you talk to, and depending on where you are in Connecticut can either be more like New York or more Massachusetts / Boston, because Connecticut is literally the bridge, damn near, between the two states. But technically speaking, Connecticut is a part of New England, okay? The 6 states of New England is Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. So for the sake of this argument, I am definitely claiming Connecticut, okay? And then on top of that, 2 of the next number 1 overall picks in the NBA, if everything goes to plan, and unless, you know, the mock drafts change and things of that nature. But regardless, 2 of the top prospects in the next 2 years, 2 of the projected number 1 picks are coming from New England. Cooper Flagg is from Maine, and AJ DeBonsa is from Brockton. And that's just kind of crazy. That's just kind of crazy to me. I don't know. Are we on the come up? I don't know. I think we are. But yeah, UConn's crazy. UConn put belt to ass today against USC. I'll just do a quick spark notes for everyone that was just in the technical problem stream. But yeah, UConn put belt to ass on USC. And to me, the bigger problem was that USC didn't have enough offensive weapons. It was really USC's offense that failed them today, to be honest with you. But AZ Fudd, crazy stupid. She went crazy just these last 2 games in general. And then whatchamacallit, Paige didn't even dominate for real. And I understand like a lot of the story with UConn has to do with Paige, but Paige was the 3rd best player out there. It was the AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong show. No cap. And Sarah Strong dropped like, what she dropped, chat? Like 25 and 15 with 3 blocks as a freshman in the Natty game. They couldn't stop her. They could not stop Sarah Strong. AZ Fudd, they couldn't stop. Just an overall masterclass by UConn today. You know, it got crazy when she started hitting threes. Yup. It got crazy. It got crazy once UConn in general started hitting threes. And USC just could not find any offense today. That was insane. And then the Duke versus Houston game. All-time choke. Oh my goodness. That is up there with the Reggie Miller New York Knicks choke. That is up there with the T-Mac 13 seconds and 33 seconds. Because Duke was up by like 7 with a minute to go. And how they choked, couldn't inbound the ball. Bro. Could not inbound the ball. A bunch of careless turnovers. Couldn't find any offense down the stretch. Like, I really thought Duke had it in the bag. But once I'm not gonna lie, once they couldn't inbound the ball, that's when it really got scary for me. Because, oh my goodness, if they can't inbound the ball, Houston got a real chance to stay in the game, and they did. A couple missed free throws. That was crazy. Now, in terms of Cooper Flagg, I know a lot of Duke fans are saying that Duke got robbed because of the over-the-back foul that he got at the end of the game. I do not believe. Yeah, TJ just said it in the chat. You can argue that that's a bad call, but to put the choke job on just that one call, I think is crazy. So many things went wrong for Duke. And I think their lack of preparation and their just the plays that they ran down the stretch was just fucking horrible. So can't put it all on that call. And they also had chances after that to win the game. Just cannot do it. Can't put it all on that call. And then in terms of the shot that Cooper Flagg got at the end of the game, I think it wasn't the best shot that he could have had, and especially for a situation like this, you definitely want the best shot that you could have. But it also wasn't the worst shot. I think that's one of those shots you just got to live with the result. And he definitely got to live with the result. But me personally, I probably would have took it all the way to the rim. I think one of the things that specifically Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant ruined the game for is the game-winning shot. Let me say that again. One of the things that specifically Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant ruined in terms of the game of basketball is the game-winning shot. Because I feel like because of those three and the moments that they've had, when there's a game-winning bucket to be had, players just kind of auto-assume that it gotta be a jump shot, right? 3, 2, 1, bang! But there's a lot of situations, chat, where an isolation jump shot off the dribble, it's not the best shot to win the game. Especially if it's a midi. I'm going to put Steph in this as well. Because Cooper Flagg, with the athletic ability that he got, combined with his ability to put pressure on the rim and the handle that he got, I'm not going to lie, that game-winning bucket attempt, that game-winner attempt, probably should have been attacking the basket and going up strong for a layup, either straight up yamming it or going strong for a layup, or making the refs make a call. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of contact down there. They're not going to just let Cooper Flagg get an easy bucket. So go to the rim, go up strong, and make the refs do their job. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of my hot takes, man. Also, shout out to just college basketball in general. And the reason why I say that is because, I think the NBA is still where the best hoops is being played. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that the NBA is a bad product when I say this. That's not what I'm saying. But when I do watch college hoops, one, there's just a level of extra care that college programs and college players have for the game, specifically seniors. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be the last time they're playing hoops at a high level, you know? There's just a lot more care when it comes to the players in college. But also, and you know, let's keep it a buck, fans notice, I have definitely been embracing the whole perfectly imperfect motto when it comes to basketball. Because again, the best basketball is being played in the NBA, right? However, because of the skill gap in college and the fact that not everyone is so skilled in college, I think players in college have way more defined strengths and weaknesses. So game planning for this team is going to be completely different. Game planning for that team. There's certain things that you want to exploit way more for this team than that team. And Jaywan just said it in chat too. Just because the NBA is the best form of basketball being played doesn't necessarily mean it's the most entertaining. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. But yeah, I've just had a growing appreciation for college basketball over these last couple of years for those reasons. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm necessarily watching the best hoops. I'm just watching players that care more. I'm watching college coaches that care more. And surprisingly enough, and I understand NIL may be changing some of this, there's way more continuity in college, way more storyline building in college than the NBA, in my opinion. It's not though in college they're actually running plays and playing team basketball, where in the NBA is just ISO ball all game. I don't think that's true. But yeah, just a couple hoop takes, because there was a lot of good basketball being played this weekend, y'all. A lot of great basketball being played this weekend. So I just wanted to, touch on those things. Also, the Lakers put belt to ass on the Thunder today. So, Shannon Sharp about to go crazy tomorrow. Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. So that's gonna be good. I'm excited for hoops, man. I'm excited for hoops. And this platform right here is not gonna be a hoops platform. But we gonna get to the hoop talk on here, because this is my platform to really get some shit off. We still gonna get to the hoops on here. We just not gonna clip it up and things of that nature. We gonna get to the hoop talk on here. But regardless, shout out to the 81 in the building. Shout out to Kobe as well. If you are tuning in, leave a like on the stream. There's 81 people in here, only 15 likes. Can we get to 30? Can we get to 30? I think we can get to 30. Let's get to 30, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you also haven't already. Appreciate y'all over there on audio. There's just very, very small community on there, but I appreciate y'all showing support on audio. Shout out to the Instagram as well. Big Instagram gang in the building. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all the Instagram here. Shout out to the Instagram gang. 44,400 followers on there. A lot of the stream highlights are posted on here. And some additional content. This is also probably where you will get announcements regarding the stream. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually going to make a story right now. I'm make a story right now. There you go. Tell everyone I'm streaming. I'm live. Get some more people in here. Let's see if people will transfer over. Let's see if people will transfer over. But yeah, shout out to the Instagram gang. But with that being said, chat, let's get to the topics. Okay, let's get to the topics. The Lakers in 5 shit is so corny to me. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. After the first one, Shannon's dragging it now. Shannon is definitely dragging it now with the Lakers in 5 shit, bro. The Lakers in 5 shit. Okay, let's go ahead and start off with the dumbass tweet of the day. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what the producers got for us here.
So what's your take?
People who make you take your shoes off when you enter their home should not be allowed to entertain.
Why? And I know why Brent chose this. Why? What the fuck? Hold on, we gotta run that back. Yo.
So what's your take?
People who make you take your shoes off when you enter their home should not be allowed to entertain.
100% disagree.
I know your house smells. It smells like... Your house smells like smelly feet.
You're just saying that. I know why you're saying that. Because white people don't take their shoes off in the house. You probably wear those chunky boots in the house.
I would personally rather risk sort of feces on the carpet than see someone's besocked hoof. Or worse, they're raw dogs on my carpet.
You
would rather have shit on your carpet than see feet? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
rather not have a person's nice foot that's been in a sock all day.
What's the sock, though?
The sock is just regular.
I just don't want to see that, like, holy, or I don't want to see that little toe, like, sticking out.
Yeah, look, I don't like when people come to my house and they disrespect me by having their toe finger, the big toe sticking out with a hole.
Thank you.
That's gross.
Yes, that's what I don't want to see.
Come with a brand new, fresh pair.
And also, like, I don't want to have to take my shoes off in your home.
You can't come into my home.
Because I don't want you to see my feet.
You're not allowed in my home, bro.
But can you provide...
But the thing is, a lot of the people who, like, don't allow shoes in their home, it's like a cultural thing. It's a religious thing, too, for some people. So, I'm not gonna lie. How she flipped it on, hey, if this is one of your rules, you shouldn't be allowed to entertain. If I tell you to take your shoes off and you don't take your shoes off, and you refuse to, by the way, like on some, oh, you got, like, on some, you're gonna make a scene about it, you can get the fuck out of my house. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It's a very simple, basic rule. You can keep her socks on too, by the way. No one is telling you to go straight from shoes to feet. You can keep her socks on. Just don't have shoes that have been walking around all day. Like what she said, might have fucking stepped on shit. Might have stepped on piss. Maybe gum under there, all these different things. Man, get that shit out of my house, bro.
White slippers?
Yes, I have slippers for guests.
Fine.
I don't make anyone use them.
Okay.
Because I'm comfortable with feet.
I'm not. No, I have a phobia.
You have a foot phobia.
I think so, yeah.
The opposite of a fetish.
Yes, I'm scared of them. I don't want people to see mine, and I think it sort of forces a very intimate relationship.
My friends, we have a personal relationship. I'm not afraid of their feet.
You're not afraid of their feet?
I've looked in their mouths.
You've looked in their mouths?
Okay, no.
Well, how does that relate to the feet?
I'm not uncomfortable around my friends because I'm always looking inside their mouths.
Inside of the mouth is different from the foot.
The foot is the mouth of the leg.
Okay, they're just yapping now. They're just yapping. That's enough of that. That's an L take, bro. That is a L take. And also, maybe she actually is that dumb. But I think that is a rule. I'm not gonna lie, chat. That is a rule specifically associated with being Asian. The whole you can't have your you can't have your shoes in the house type of thing, right? So for you to say this take and say that these people who run their house like this shouldn't be allowed to entertain people, what are you really trying to say? What are you really trying to say right now? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Let's get into some little reacts over here. What are you doing if your barber does this to you? Okay. Let's see.
Get your stinking ass off of me!
What the fuck? Oh, hell nah.
Man, what the fuck is going on, man? Hey, bro, what the fuck?
I don't give a fuck if you're wearing gloves, bro. This is kind of on the opposite side of the last take. I don't give a fuck if you're wearing gloves. Do not put your fingers in my mouth without consent. What the hell?
Bro.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Did he just shove a hot dog? Is that a hot dog? Oh, hell no, bro.
Bro, what?
Nah. All right, so I guess this is a better question. I guess this is the better question. What's the most disrespectful thing that has happened to you specifically at a barbershop? Tell me stories, chat. Tell me stories. Most disrespectful thing that has happened to you at a barbershop. I'll start off with me. Most disrespectful thing. I don't think I've had too many disrespectful encounters at a barbershop. I guess, because I be booking appointments, chat. I be booking appointments. If I book my appointment at 10:30 a.m., please do not make me wait till 11 to sit at the chair. That's probably the most disrespectful. Like, I haven't had like anything crazy I haven't had anything crazy happening once I've gotten into the chair. But do not make me wait until 11. Don't make me wait an extra 30 minutes from when I booked my appointment. But that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Cause the times go by 30-minute increments too, right? So if I wanted a haircut at 11, I would set the appointment at 11. I set it for 10:30 for a reason. I got places to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Okay. Let's see. My dad cuts my hair, free cuts, W dad. He was gripping my neck hard as shit. Hey, yo. My barber said, damn, your shit crooked in the middle of the cut, bro. No way. No way. Your barber telling you that your shit is crooked in the middle of the cut is insane, bro. I sneezed and my barber looked at me with so much disgust and told me to get up. Oh, hell no. That's crazy. Walk into a Puerto Rican barbershop and sat there for 3 hours waiting. None of them picked me up, so I left. You waited 3 hours to leave? That's the crazier part. Waiting 3 hours and like not even like, you know what I'm saying? Check it, y'all. When's the next one? Nah, I'm not gonna lie. That time is so long, I might have to put it on you. No cap. Okay. Motherfucker got upset I kept moving my head. I be falling asleep. Chat, do y'all be falling asleep during the cuts? Especially if it's like mad early. I be falling asleep during my cuts, bro. Like, I be like... I be zoning out, chat. I be zoning out during my cuts. When they gave me the my seat is open guy, even though I know he's ass. Oh, hell no. Let's see. Most disrespectful thing you can do is push my line back up. Slap my neck with the alcohol on it. I pulled up and he changed addresses. Oh, hell no. I recently waited for like 2 hours. See, that's why I'll pay the extra to go to a barbershop where I can book appointments in advance, bro. I'm gonna be honest, man. I ain't pulling up to a barbershop and just waiting, bro. That's crazy. I want to walk in, walk out, and my shit's already paid for beforehand, so no cap. I walked in and there was a motherfucker smoking at 10 a.m. in the corner of the room. When they lead me back to use the razor, I'm cooked. Oh shit! Look at Joanne. Y'all gotta get better dads. Damn. We left mid-cut to buy a PS5, but the cut was free from then on. Walking around with no blended fade was kind of embarrassing, and then we got burritos. My barber said Jordan was better than LeBron. I said I wanted my back of my neck tapered. He gave me a high top. Damn, y'all got some stories, chat. God damn, y'all got some stories. If you go on vacation for like 2 weeks, y'all get a cut over there? Nah. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I went to the Philippines without a cut, chat, and we was there for like a week and a half. Yeah, I don't trust a new barber, man. Like I'm only going to a new barber if I'm like moving to a new place and like I gotta, you know what I'm saying, find a new regular guy to go to. But I'm not trusting a new barber just on vacation, bro. Hell no. Hell no. Bro, my barber literally had my shit looking different on each side of my hair for a month. Oh shit. My barber said Jordan Poole better than Kate. I almost punched. I can't trust an out-of-town barber, so I damn sure can't trust no out-of-country barber. That's fair. That's fair. That is definitely fair. Okay, let's see what other mini reacts we got over here. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. What is this? All right.
I think it would be super viral if like I've never done anything like that before.
Yeah, okay.
So like,
you know how nasty these OF TikTok women are? They sit like this on purpose. I need y'all to know that. For the clip, they sit like this on purpose. Cause I've seen way too many, and there's gonna be some self-snitching shit. I've seen way too many clips of them faking podcast clips. Mind you, there is no podcast being recorded. There is no full podcast being recorded here. They are literally just recording fake podcast clips for TikTok. They be saying like that on purpose. Okay?
Never done anything like that before.
Yeah, okay.
So like, what if we did 2,000 men together in 24 hours?
Wait, hold on. We gotta run that back. You freak as hell to even catch that. Oh hell no. Nah, that low-key I did just self-snitch. But my content brain is always on, chat. Just don't get it twisted. My content brain is always on.
I think it would be super viral if like I've never done anything like that before.
Yeah, okay.
So like, what if we did 2,000 men together in 24 hours? So you just double it.
Yeah, that would be
2,000 men in 24 hours. You know we gotta do the math on that, chat. You know we gotta do the math on that. Okay. We got the handy dandy calculator. We zoom in a little bit more. Okay. 2,000 men in 24 hours. That's 83 men per hour. How do you... 83 men per hour. Divide that by 60. That's one dude per minute. That is one cock per minute for 24 hours. No breaks. No bathroom breaks. No lunch break. No whatever. You might be able to speed up and make up if you take like 2 or 3 at once type shit. And this the workload is being split by 2 women. But this shit is literally impossible. This shit is literally impossible. On top of that, it is also literally impossible to do this without getting an STD. That's also an important part of this. Okay? You cannot sleep with 2,000 men in 24 hours and not catch anything. Even with a condom. I ain't gonna lie. Even with a condom, is it still wet? All right, here we go. Not possible to finish off 2,000 guys. So no one's finishing. Let's get that straight. In this scenario, no one is finishing nothing, okay? For a lot of these men, this is probably going to be the worst sex experience they would ever experience. I'm being so serious. Cuz you probably have to pull up to an Airbnb, right? You got to wait in line and really contemplate what you're doing. Once you get in there, you don't got much time, buddy. Take your pants off. Put it in me. Pause. Major pause. And you got a minute. And you're not going to finish in a minute. But after that minute, you got to pull out and keep it pushing, buddy. Thank you for your services. Okay? Like, no, bro. That's an ass idea. This is an ass idea. You got to go there at the end of the edge set. Oh, nah. Jeremy's wilding right now, bro. Hey. Jeremy is on 10 right now, bro. Jeremy, nah, chat. Nah. Okay, we in too deep. We pause. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. All right, let's see. Comedian Corey Holcomb claims that Will Smith is a part of a secret Hollywood society filled with closeted homosexuals. Oh, wow. Holcomb suggests that famous figures like Smith secretly belong to this group and are determined to keep their identities hidden. He claims the lifestyle is tightly kept under wraps.
Now, there are celebrities who have accepted the poly and non-monogamous relationships. Some we know, Will Smith and Jada, they've been open about they have an open relationship.
But Will like guys.
Huh?
Yo! Cam's reaction is insane.
Will Smith and Jada, they've been open about they have an open relationship.
But Will like guys.
Huh?
Will like guys.
How you know?
What the fuck?
I live in LA. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I live in Los Angeles.
I'm in the club. he fucked me. That's how I know.
There's a lot of opportunities I don't get because the guys don't want me to see them with their boyfriends. And I've suffered from that. It's like everybody know anyway. Everybody know anyway. So I'm saying like, do you think me saying Will like guys, because I said it and I can't take it back.
Yeah.
Because I believe it.
You can. This is not a live stream. You can. You're just choosing to double down.
Know it for the most part. Okay. By me saying that, I hope it doesn't strike a nerve in anybody, but I'm saying I live in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a lifestyle that is kept quiet.
A secret society.
Yeah. And it's like people.
Now all of a sudden Cam know, huh? Hold on. Hold on.
Like me suffer from this lifestyle because of the shame that some guys have of how they like to move. And I don't think that however you move is something you should hold against me. I think it's unfair.
Yo, I need y'all to understand. His whole argument right now is, hey man, cause you get why I gotta suffer. Yo. Insane argument. Insane argument, bruh. Oh my God. If you suffering, why do you still live in LA? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As a person, I know this is gonna sound crazy after that clip. I've been to LA a decent amount of times. You can tell within a day that, especially if you're in the entertainment industry, too much goes on to LA for certain people to not live there. Like too much, too many opportunities, too many things go on in LA for you to just. For some people, they find it way too beneficial. You know what I'm saying? So, SOLZ is the secret society. True. All right, here y'all go. Here y'all go. Wait, is Paige a Celtics fan? Hold on. Big Paige. You gotta stop. All right. Let's see if we can do one more clip, chat. Let's see if we can do one more clip. Money can't unlame you. Okay.
For me, a perfect date, first thing I'm gonna do, pardon my voice, man. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take you shopping for something to wear. I'm gonna get your hair done, get your nails done, pick you up in my double R. Probably got 1,000 roses in there, in the Rolls Royce. After that, I mean, shit, we gonna just go with the day. You know what I'm saying? Nah, for real. So we gonna just go with the day. That's if we in the city. If we not taking.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude right here. Look at this dude. Yo, this motherfucker led with money and did not know where to lead her. Hell no. Nah. Hold on. We gotta run that back. Man.
For me, a perfect date, first thing I'm gonna do, pardon my voice, man. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take you shopping for something to wear. I'm gonna get your hair done, get your nails done, pick you up in my double R. Probably got 1,000 roses in there, in the Rolls Royce.
And that's it.
After that, I mean, shit, we gonna.
Did he say tap that ass? Is that what he said? Or did he say after that? Maybe I'm gooned out right now. What did he say?
After that, I'm.
Okay, he said after that. Nah, I'm gooned out. My bad, y'all. My bad. I'm like, damn, you going straight to tapping that ass? And look at this dude's face. Look at this.
I mean, shit, we gonna just go with the day. You know what I'm saying? Nah, for real. So we gonna just go with the day. That's if we in the city. If we not taking no trip, like I said, I'm pick you up, double R, roses, all that, the whole thing. You done got your hair done, nails done, you dressed to impress, whatever. We both looking good. We gonna go out to eat, fine dining. We might go to a club, and pop shit, have fun. And then after that, you know, we might just go get some massages or something like that. I think that's a perfect date.
Okay. All right. So based off of that, we're going to have you pop 2 balloons. Come on back up here to the front with me. Okay. Unless you want to, you know who balloons you're going to pop already.
Bro, that is the most generic date I have ever heard. That is the most generic date I have ever heard. Oh my God. We gonna get you right. We gonna get you ready. We gonna go out for dinner and come back home. What the hell? What is that? Where's the creativity, man? You know, where's the sauce? Can you at least specify what restaurant we're going to? What's the ambiance? You know what I'm saying? What's the vibe? Right? What type of massage are we getting? You know? What type of club? What type of what music are they playing at this club? Jeremy said the vibe is money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The vibe is just money. Oh my God. This is crazy. And also your beard is weird. Your beard is weird. What is this? What is this? What is this, bro? Okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, man. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Okay. Oh. We gotta watch this together. Wait, I didn't know that. Oh my God. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay. So, have y'all seen this clip? I seen this clip the other day, y'all. We gotta watch it together. We gotta watch it. Yo. My girl is never going to an Usher concert, bro. Hell nah. There goes my baby. Yeah. Yo, Usher is a nasty dude, bro. I need y'all to know that, man. Usher is a nasty dude. Look at the way she's staring at him. Look at the way she's staring at him. It's literally waterworks right now, chat. I need y'all to know that right now. Right now, in this moment, is waterworks down there. For real. And she ain't afraid to. Splash. Okay, so the reason why I had the reaction that I had earlier is because there's been an update. There has been an update to the situation. This is crazy. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if this is true. Okay, per sources, breaking, a 45-year-old man has filed for divorce from his wife after she allowed Grammy-winning singer Usher Raymond to seduce her on stage. The husband claims the woman has never kissed him in public, and he was shocked that she could do that to a complete stranger in the presence of 20K people. I'ma be honest with you. Deserve crash out, bro. Deserve crash out. Let's just assume it's true, okay? It may not be true. Deserve crash out. Cause I'm not gonna lie. If you go as far as to like, we can't even kiss in public, cause that's how, you know, how pure you are. You know what I'm saying? That's how much you don't get down with the freaky shit. But all it takes is for you to go to the right concert to freak the fuck out like this. Nah, she's a lame, bro. She's a lame. No cap. That's so fake, bro. People think this is Boondocks. Sometimes you just gotta go with it, okay? You just gotta go with it. 1 minute can crush an entire relationship. Why would someone do this? I'm guessing it was her dream to see Usher, and she didn't know how to react when it came true. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I've had this conversation with my girl already, especially after that Drake incident. You can go to whatever concert you want to, but first of all, let me know which concert you're going to, and second of all, depending on who it is, yeah, let me see where them seats are. Okay, chat. Hey, we've had this conversation many times. Let me see where them seats are at. Okay, because if you go into, because you can, okay, if Usher's your favorite artist, right, I'm gonna let you go to that Usher concert, but you're sitting balcony. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting balcony. You're sitting in, you know, row 36. You know, right by, I can't even say right by the edge, because that's, you know what I'm saying, that's easy access. You gonna sit in the middle of row 47. You know what I'm saying? None of that by the stage shit, bro. Hell no. Hell no. Fuck that. Chris Brown. We went to a Chris Brown concert together, so that was. She's not a big Chris Brown fan, anyways. So Chris Brown is safe. If anything, I'm trying to make her to go to a Chris Brown concert. That's been a conversation in my house. Okay. Now you roll couch at the house. Bro, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes, man. Let's get into the main topic. Okay, let's get serious. Okay, let's get a little bit serious here. I know we've been shenaniganing for a minute now, but let's get serious here. So, Jason Deween has been in some news lately. Not necessarily because of things that he's done. Honestly, it's more so the Fung Bros. Okay? So, for those who don't know, Brent, start the clip around here. For those who don't know who the Fung Bros are, the Fung Bros are one of the YouTube OGs. Okay? Specifically in the Asian community. They are one of the OGs. I also used to watch them. Okay? So, this is their channel. The Fung Bros. 2.2 million subscribers. And, you know, let's just keep it real. Their peak was years ago, okay? We're talking about 12, 10, 9 years ago, okay? This is how long they've been in the game. But as of late, let's just also be real. Numbers ain't doing too good, okay? Numbers ain't doing too good. We're talking about a channel that's struggling to hit 10K most days on a channel with 2 million subscribers. This is just where they sit. But nevertheless, that's not really a major point right here. They've been under some smoke lately because of a video that they made about Jason the Ween. Okay, so you might be asking, what was the video? The video was titled, "Is Jason the Ween a sellout?" Is Jason the Ween a sellout? So you might be asking, SOLZ, where's the video? They deleted it. Okay, I actually, for this video, for the pod, wanted to just straight react to the video, but I literally cannot find it anywhere. The only way we can kind of find this video is just through the little clips that have resurfaced from you know, from the situation, from the video, from Jason reacting, because a lot of claims were said. About Jason not being good Asian representation, him being a sellout, not being Asian enough, all these different things. And I do think this is a very interesting conversation to be had about streaming culture, about Jason, and about like Asian representation within the streaming space, I guess, now that it's becoming way more mainstream. So shout out to producer Brent for putting together all these clips.
And it even seemed like the reaction from the sidemen was a little bit like, oh yeah, I don't even know if I want to be laughing at that. Kind of like a, haha, dang, he really went there. Right. It's, are you
I hate the two-step verification shit. But yeah, shout out to Brent for putting these in order, because this was definitely hard to put together. So let's go ahead and just start here. Let's go ahead and start right here.
Is that he's a sellout. And it even seemed like the reaction from the sidemen was a little bit like, oh yeah, I don't even know if I want to be laughing at that. Kind of like a, haha, dang, he really went there. Right. It's
so just for some prior context, apparently the root of why they're even calling Jason a sellout was specifically because Jason was on a 20v1 on a Sidemen video, and he made a joke saying that like Asians had small dicks. Like he leaned into the stereotype of Asians having small dicks, and that's kind of what sparked this whole video right here.
It's, are you fucked in the head, bro? Is that he's a sellout. And it even seemed like the reaction.
Like what? How? Nah, I gotta be getting rage baited. There's no way, right? There is no fucking way.
From the sidemen was a little bit like, oh yeah, I don't even know if I want to be his stuff, but obviously he's very entertaining. He's very, very popular. I believe a lot of his fan base is non-Asian. You know, he doesn't look super Asian. He dyes his hair.
He don't look Asian, chat. So that's one of the claims. Jason don't look Asian for real. Okay.
Oh, you dead ass right now? I don't look Asian? Who do I look like? Bro, no. I'm actually getting rage rated. I'm actually getting hot too. That's the thing, yo.
Typically don't look like very Mongoloid or very like, you know, East Asian looking. Well, I would say.
Okay, I have to look a certain way because I'm Vietnamese? No, you're the racist. You're setting our people back. No, I'm just kidding. What the fuck?
He looks like he could be a quarter white. Right.
Credit or debit?
This looks like the most Asian person. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how you look at this man and say he's not Asian. Like, I'm gonna be so serious. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's move on to the next clip. Because
I think he's an entertaining guy, but I never look to him for any sort of Asian representation. But I'm saying, do people do that because he's sort of taken Rice Gum's spot in that FaZe Clan world, and that Asians don't have anybody else? By the way, guys, there's actually Asian streamers that are technically bigger than him and may just make as much money as him, but they're more isolated in what we consider Asian niches. Right.
Why do I have to be trapped in the Asian niche? I love my Asians, but why can't I just be a streamer? I can't just be a streamer? And also who?
Which is more like anime playing certain Asian games, but he's more like in the Counter-Strike. I'm sort of acting like a SoundCloud rapper.
What? Counter-Strike? I played Counter-Strike one time this year. Bro, nah, because motherfuckers don't do research and just start saying, I sold out to Asian men. No, I'm getting rage baited. This can't be real.
I will say, from the clips that I've seen, it is very, very clear that the Fung Bros are just speaking out their ass, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just from like you just don't know the dude's background and his content type of perspective. And, you know, I think guys like Kai have been getting this a lot lately too, because their rise to fame was so sudden that people only know them as they've rose to the fame. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people talking about Kai right now, most people talking about Kai right now, probably found out about Kai early 2024 now. They don't know about the time he joined AMP and his actual come up. They just know him now that he's famous. And I think for Jason in this regard, he's getting some of that treatment as well. Because I've known Jason for a minute now, even before he joined FaZe. And to say that Jason does not embrace his Asianness is so crazy to me, because I think it is very, very apparent in his content that he does. This whole idea that he doesn't play Asian games and he only plays Counter-Strike, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen Jason play Counter-Strike. That's one. Two, the game that he does play a lot is Valorant. That's an Asian game. I'm sorry to tell you, Valorant is a very Asian-coded, Asian-sided game. That's been Jason's main game from what I understand. And also in terms of the collaborations that he's done throughout his content, a lot of them have been with Asian content creators. Even in his fuckboy e-date phase, a lot of those e-dates, a lot of these like dating content shit that he does, they're centered around Asian people. So this idea that like he's not Asian enough, that he doesn't embrace his Asian side is crazy. It's crazy. And we gotta see more clips. We gotta see more clips, because I definitely know already what the fuck is going on here. But let's just watch a little bit more.
Mean that everybody in the non-Asian spaces, white, black, Latino spaces, has to sell out Asian men just to exist and dye their hair blonde, because we got to get into these comments. Okay.
I'm getting tired. There's no fucking way he just said there. No. Bro, hold on.
That everybody in the
like literally his biggest streaming moment is him getting 100,000 subscribers and playing a K-pop song. No other streamer is doing that. Like, what the fuck? No other streamer is doing that. Like, nah, that's crazy.
In the non-Asian spaces, white, black, Latino spaces, has to sell out Asian men just to exist and dye their hair blonde, because we got to get into these comments.
Jason,
okay. By the way,
he was doing too much.
So, because I dyed my hair, I'm not trying to be Asian anymore. I'm white now, y'all. I dyed my hair. I am now.
Understands much of this stuff. Right. I don't think he's like thinking about it, then violating. He's just being him and trying to get his.
I just don't think he thinks about Asian American representation very much at all.
Yeah, he's like the Asian guy in the white frat.
Yeah.
And the white frat's a bunch of guys that are trying to act black. Right?
By the way, this is not to take away.
I'm getting trolled! I'm getting rage baited! No! What? I'm trying to be in a white frat?
Being a token Asian and having your own following of like millions of people is definitely an interesting concept to me. Definitely an interesting concept to me. Because I'm not gonna lie, depending on the day, Jason is the biggest streamer from FaZe. It just depends on what the fuck is going on. But yeah. All right, let's keep it pushing.
Like women, you know, we know Asian women who have dyed their hair blonde. It's not a crime to dye your hair blonde, but some girls, they do it for a certain reason, right? Because they maybe want to be viewed as less Asian or be white passing.
Nah, these are the same motherfuckers that are like, yo, Oxford study. Bro, white men are stealing our Asian women. White men, oh, I hate white men because they're stealing our fucking women. Oh, and they're ugly too. I don't understand why they're stealing our women. Bro, it's the same motherfucker. that is saying that, bro. I can't believe, bro, out of all the people, the Fung Bros.
Yeah, I think the last part he said on that was very telling, because Fung Bros shouldn't be hating, man. I think Jason is definitely a step in the right direction when it comes to Asian representation. But let's watch a couple more clips.
Somebody said, clearly Jason the Ween has an inferiority complex due to growing up in the West, and he panders to his majority white audience or white adjacent audience. He was always a cuck.
What the fuck, man? Nah, you know what? Well, nor do I mostly white audience.
I honestly, I'm just trying to watch the video. Jason is doing too much stuff.
Or Hispanic and Asian. That's like my main demographic. White people are probably the least of my demographic.
Okay, let's watch a couple more here. Let's see.
You know, it feels like that if you can earn like black people's respect, you don't have to play yourself out as long as you're adding value to their group. I don't even.
What the fuck? Oh, you being a dead ass? Bro, what am I hearing right now? This can't be real words. Bro, holy shit.
Black people's respect.
What are they
feels
yapping
like
about?
that if you can earn like black people's respect, you don't have to play
What is he
yourself
yapping
out
about?
as long as you're adding value to their group.
I don't even think they would want. They would be like, yo, chill. Why are you doing that?
Because that doesn't sound cool. It's like, why do you always have to make yourself feel inferior just to make other people feel comfortable?
Right.
What are you talking about? No, I'm getting rage baited, bro.
Okay, so long story short, because there's a lot of jumping around here. I'm trying to see if I can find some more pointed points here. Long story short, they are essentially painting Jason to be like an Asian Uncle Tom, I guess. And I think this is not the case whatsoever. This is not the case whatsoever to me. And I would even argue that that Jason is actually like a good representation of Asians and it's in a direction that's headed Uncle Lee. Oh my God. This is the direction that Asian representation should be heading in. Because I think for years, right? I think for years, Asian representation in media has been being a nerdy looking Asian, being a dork, being a loser, being a short nerd, introverted, and all of that. But what we have in Jason is actually an extroverted Asian who, I'm not gonna lie, like a decent amount of people actually find him attractive, for one. And two, he's breaking the stereotype of like Asians gotta be engineers, they gotta be doctors, they gotta be software engineers and all of that different shit. You know what I'm saying? Jason is a content creator. He is a streamer. He is an example of how Asians can succeed, specifically in America, and not follow the stereotypes and the pressure that our parents put on him, or on us, excuse me. Because one of the storylines that Jason has had in his content career was this like dynamic between him and his parents, and how, you know, even though Jason is having all of this success, his parents still wanted him to finish college and all of that. But you know, with the success that he's had with streaming, it just didn't make sense for him to continue going to college. Or at least, you know, it made sense for him to at the very least take a break from going to college. So Jason has actually been a really, really good representation when it comes to Asian media for me. And I think he's a voice and he's a face that we need. You know what I'm saying? We need, I think one of the worst things about Asian representation right now is that Asian men are not viewed as these, you know, sexually attractive, conventionally handsome people. And, you know, I personally don't find Jason attractive. But the fact that that's a part of his appeal to a decent amount of people, I think that's very progressive. That's very progressive, and that should be something that a lot of Asian people should be applauding his form of representation for. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the conversation about him selling out because of a joke, what are we doing here? They just sound mad uninformed about him. And you know, this is not the first time that existing Asian content creators from the past generation have hated on Jason, right? So one of the videos that we've done on this channel was actually a situation a while ago where you know, these Asian content creators from SoCal wanted to, you know, diminish Jason's 100K, saying that, but a lot of it is gifted, like he's not really getting that much views and all that stuff. And it spawned this conversation about like SoCal Asians and just Asian streaming culture in general, and Asian content creator culture in general. And I think this whole situation is along those same lines, because from my understanding, the Fung Bros are based in LA. The Fung Bros are based in LA. Let's see if we can find out where these guys are based in, because I'm 90% sure they're based in LA. Let me see if I can find the chat. I'm 90% sure they're based in LA. David NYC. Okay, so here we go. So this is one of them. David NYC in LA usually. And this is Andrew NYC. Okay, so we're talking about two Asians that, you know, have some ties to California Asians. And the reason why I'm so like bringing up California right now is because California is probably the Asian capital of the United States. And a lot of Asians in Cali get mad cliquey. They get really, really cliquey. You know what I'm saying? They treat the shit like high school. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not a part of the inn, if you're not a part of a certain crowd, they kind of view you as an outcast. They kind of view you as a person who, yeah, you're succeeding, but you're not succeeding in the way we want you to. And I think that's what the video was kind of giving off, is like, you know, I mean, Jason's cool. You know, he's having success. But first of all, he's not the first Asian streamer out there. You know, we got a community. We've been around. And he's not doing it with other Asians. So therefore, he's not Asian enough. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that is so backwards to me. I think a part of becoming mainstream for me is becoming so big that a bunch of different cultures embrace you. For me. I don't think Kai, I don't think Max, I don't think any of these streamers become mainstream if they don't make content that is appealing to, you know, children, appealing to people of various different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? So I think that part right there is like an oxymoron in and of itself. I don't think you can become mainstream by just staying within a niche. But also, I think with him specifically, from my understanding, Jason comes from Texas. He's from Texas. So he's not a SoCal Asian. He lives in LA now because that's where FaZe is. But he's from Texas. And as a person myself that is not from California, I got some family there, but I'm an Asian that doesn't live in California. I'm telling you right now, bro, how Asians in California move are very, very different to how Asians who do not live in California move. Because Asians who do not live in California or New Jersey or New York are typically in situations, chat, where they're still minorities within their communities, right? They're still minorities in their communities. They are not in these communities. They are not in these environments where there's a lot of representation of themselves. You know what I'm saying? I am definitely one of those people as well. You know, I grew up in Massachusetts. There's a lot of Asian people in Boston, but I don't live in Boston. So there's not a lot of people that look like me. And then Jason, with him being in Texas, compared to Cali, there's not a lot of people that look like Jason probably where he's from. You know what I'm saying? So it's harder to build communities. It's harder to build community within your race when that is the situation. And it's just been a running theme when it comes to SoCal Asians that they just moved in this such entitled and privileged lens and act like Asians all over America have the exact same experience as them. And that's just not the reality of the situation, bro. That is just not the reality of the situation. And they move like they're cliquey. That's my main problem with SoCal Asians. Y'all move so cliquey. Like, why? Like, why, bro? I'm in the second biggest concentrated Filipino area. That's dope, bro. Look at the Fung Bros. They stayed in the niche, and they're nowhere. Well, that too. I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. But if we want to talk about the Fung Bros too, is this the representation that we're looking for? Is this the representation that we're looking for? The same motherfuckers that made videos like 18 types of Asian girls, Asian parents be like, things Asian girls like, 15 types of Asian guys, things Asian parents do, part 5, part 4, part 3. I'm gonna be honest with you. If there's a person that looks like they're selling out Asian people, it looks like it's the Fung Bros. It looks like it's the Fung Bros. Y'all literally made a killing. Y'all made y'all fame. Asian Parents Part 6. Y'all made a living. Y'all made a killing. Y'all became famous off of making content about Asian stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is y'all. This is y'all. So you going at Jason talking about, he's selling us out because of like one small dick joke? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. How many things Asian parents do videos did y'all make? There's a part 9. JJ just seen part 8. There's a part 9. Actually, I want to see this. If I look up parents. Y'all made 14. Chat. They made 13 parts. The last part of the series was from 2018. The first video was from 2013. Y'all spent 5 years making a series talking about the stereotypes of Asian parents, and y'all have the gall to go at Jason for making one little dick joke. What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? I do want to watch this guy's reaction to all of this. I seen this guy on TikTok earlier.
Yo, I just peeped a video about Jason the Ween from the Fung Bros and how they were talking about how he basically doesn't fit the Asian mold of being a content creator. And they were just really first it was like more of them shitting on him because of how this man made a joke on Siden's 20V, whatever it was. And like it was like a self-deprecating Asian joke, right? Like, funny, right? That's up to y'all to find out if it's funny or not. But he was just saying how they're not good and bad, and then they just dragged that shit the fuck out, bro. They were dragging that ish out, bro. Like, I was like, bro, it's really not that serious, but I feel like there's like a bigger something more to it than that, right? So once they were like talking more and more about it, and they were like looking at the comments, I don't know, I'm gonna just say this: the comments are very weird. I'll say that. Like they just like the comments are very East Asian supremacy in a way, if you know what I'm saying. Like it was just like, if you don't act in this mold, then you're not Asian enough. And I was like, I was looking at that shit and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, cause in a way, like I can kind of relate, cause number one, I didn't grow up around a lot of Asians like that. Obviously, outside of my family members, I'm Fujonese. But like I grew up in Hell's Kitchen, which is not mostly Chinese people, right? It's like a diverse mix of people. But where I was around was mostly Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, blacks, like occasional whites. But it was not Asian people, basically. That was not the area I grew up. Well, the Asians weren't around the area like that when I was growing up. Nowadays it's kind of gentrified, but still, like, you know, there's still folks from when I was there around there, right? So, but that's not the main point. I mean, kind of a little bit. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, they're trying to fit him into this mold because he's like, oh, if you don't do this or that, then you're not Asian enough or you're not representing us in a good way. And I'm like, my fault for the cut. I fucking ADHD'd a little bit. But what I was trying to say is, because you didn't grow up in a specific way or you don't make videos in a specific way, right? Or you don't act a specific way, doesn't mean you're not Asian enough, bro. You just being Asian is already you're Asian enough. Are there folks that drag in, they try to be people who aren't? Of course, that happens all the time, especially when you grow up around people you don't grow up around your ethnicity.
Let me say this. I think there's definitely like a point of what the Fung Bros are saying, but I just don't think that's Jason though. Like Jason is not one of those Asians that just pander to people and just like, he's not one of those Asians that want to be whitewashed, that don't embrace his culture whatsoever, don't interact with Asians whatsoever. And I think that's my bigger problem with their video is, again, speaking on Jason and making an example out of Jason with not knowing who Jason is. You know what I'm saying? Jason collabs with a lot of Asian content creators. Jason embraces his Asianness. You know what I'm saying? And this idea that he just doesn't, that he's like the token Asian in the white frat, we gotta stop. Fung Bros really be talking about the Mindy Kaling types. That's what I'm saying. Like I understand there's a point of like, because Mindy Kaling, for those who don't know about Mindy Kaling, Indian people hate her because everything that she's written, and now that I'm watching The Office as well, like her character in The Office, that's not a good representation of Indians in America. You know what I'm saying? Every character that she's written, it's always like an Indian chick that's trying way too hard to be white, and most of the time ends up being with a white man. You know what I'm saying? That's actually what bad representation is. But Jason is not that. That's what I'm saying. Jason is not that.
So you try to fit in. You know, I was guilty of that shit when I was younger too, but you know, I started to understand myself as I started to grow up, right? And you know, I appreciate my Asian roots now. But what I'm trying to say is, there's no such thing as being Asian enough, or there isn't like, oh, like you gotta act this specific way to be Asian, or you're like, if you don't act this specific way, you're catering to other audiences that aren't Asian, right? So I'm like, just be whatever you are is what you are. You are.
I think a part of this as well is, again, Jason blowing up, and now that he's blown up, like certain content creators feel like he should be entitled to put on for them because they're Asian, just off that strength. I think the podcast that we watched a couple months ago regarding the last time we talked about Jason, they were talking about it in that regard as well, where it's like, yo, Jason, hey, you blew up. Come on, bro, bring us with you. Like, I'm not entitled to You know what I'm saying? To bring it on. I'm not entitled to bringing you on just because you're Asian. Like, what if you're a dickhead? You know what I'm saying? But not that I don't want to collab with you. Now that we got problems, now you want to treat me as an outcast within the SoCal Asian group. Like, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. So, let's go ahead and finish this video, though.
Product of your culture or where you grew up around. So that's what I'm just trying to say. I think the Fung Bros are tweaking the fuck out. I don't know Jason's upbringing like that. I don't know who he is around when he was growing up, but he caters to a lot of people, and that's okay. Like, he doesn't have to be exclusive to Asians, bro. Like, we had way more than enough Asian exclusive content creators or content creators who cater to Asian people. You can be Asian just doing you, bro, and just, like, respecting your culture. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, you should be shitting on your culture all the time. You should be, like, making fun of your culture all the time, because that's definitely not what I'm trying to say. I think we've had way more than enough Asian jokes fly by us when we grew up, right? So I'm just trying to say is, you just doing you is Asian enough. You are who you are. Nobody could change that shit. That's
type shit. Shout out Aaron. Shout out Aaron. Okay, let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Let's see. Why is Indian and Asian separated in Pornhub? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Growing up, Chad, I did think like Indians were Indians and then Asians were Asians. I know that may sound like crazy, but I don't know, bro. But now that I know they're South Asian, which makes sense. There's South Asians, Southeast Asians, and then East Asians. We all did. Amen. Yeah, Fung Bros. Why you hating from outside of the club? You can't even get in. You know what I'm saying? But all right, let's go ahead and keep it pushing, y'all. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing to the next thing. To the next thing. Okay. So, okay. So, as y'all have known, bro, like, streamers have definitely become more mainstream as of late. And it's causing a rift within the streaming community because people just aren't used to these numbers. And I've been keeping tabs on people's numbers. These streaming numbers have gotten, I can't say out of hand, but they've been going crazy. Like, I've been keeping up with streaming long enough to the point where seeing someone hit 10K concurrent was insane. Insane to see. Seeing Kai and them pull 50K was insane to see. And I think we've gotten to a point where, like, you know, there are streamers that can pull 100K a stream, but that's reserved for Kai, Speed, and Aiden. Right? The 60, 70K plus, that's reserved for Kai, Speed, and Aiden. But over the last, like, month or so, I don't know what's been in the air, but a lot of these streamers have been getting mad juice. Like, I seen Agent had 110 in his stream. Duke had 120. I seen Tylil have 70 in his stream. I think Rakai had like 30K in his stream. Ray had 50K in his stream. And a part of that might be like just being associated with Kai. And I do think that's true. But my God, there seems to be like, yo, streaming numbers have been looking crazy. But apparently, and this has been teased for a minute now, Kai is in the process of starring in his first ever movie as the main character. This may be the movie with Kevin Hart and Drewski. So let's see what they have to say.
We are now in process of filming my first ever movie, y'all. This month, we are now in process of me being in a movie, chat. Like, main character type shit. Main character movie. This month we're filming it. Chat, I have a whole breakdown. Like, it's the beginning of it. It's the beginning of it, bro. It's the beginning of it. It's the beginning of it. And we made it, and like, we're good to the point where like I can balance it out. We are now in.
So Kai is gonna be in a movie, but the internet didn't really have the strongest reaction to it. Okay. So this tweet was already deleted that Brent linked me. But there's this dude right here in the reply saying it's gonna be mid. And you know, there's just been there's been this ongoing conversation about like streamers and content creators getting into movies and a lot of that shit being mid, and people aren't expecting anything different from Kai. I do think a part of that is people just being like having some PTSD when like Fusi and King Batch and them were in movies. How bad of an experience that was. But you know, obviously people are gonna hate. But just because it's Kai, like certain people just don't want to see creators in movies at all. At all. So this is what is this? A new State Farm commercial takes place in Gotham City, starring Jason Bateman as Bateman, Sis as Catwoman, Kai Cenat as Kai Cenat, Jordan Howlett as James Gordon. They did not have to put Kai in this commercial. Look at the replies. You got a stick in your mouth, not gonna lie. Damn, Kai can't even be in a commercial right now? God damn. Kai can't even be in a commercial right now. Jesus Christ. And apparently for the new Friday movie, just the idea that like Kai and Drewski are in it, like people don't have the strongest reaction to it. So here's a tweet right here, 75K likes. Please don't put no influencers in this shit. Okay. Let's read a couple more. I'm walking out if Kai Cenat comes on screen. Yo! Oh my God. This is gonna have Drewski and Kai Cenat in it, isn't it? Yo! Okay, I think this one got deleted. God damn, y'all be deleting tweets. Mad fast. Someone said they'd walk out if Kai Cenat makes a cameo. I'm just glad that King Batch is irrelevant now because I would have set myself up. Okay. So I'm seeing chat talk right now. They're making a new Friday movie. Would y'all want Kai Cenat in it? Talk to me, chat. React. I'm gonna be honest, man. Brent wanted me to be pro Kai in this clip, but I may not be pro Kai in this clip, bro. Yo, and this is no shade at Kai. I'm gonna be honest, but let's see what y'all gotta say. I fuck with Kai, but I do not want him in Friday unless it's just a cameo. Friday don't need Kai. Name one influencer that can act. I fuck with Kai, but no, I don't care if he's in it. It might be mid. No, he got 1 minute at most. Should he be a lead role? Nah. I'm gonna be honest. I am actually with y'all on this one. And again, this is no shade at Kai, but Kai, this is on some like JJ Redick getting the Laker job shit, bro. Like Friday is a big movie, right? Friday is like recreating Friday or adding a sequel to Friday is like that's no joke. You know what I'm saying? And if Kai just jumps the line in front of all the potential actors that could have like a major role in this movie just because he's Kai Cenat, I don't think that's fair. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack. I do not think it's fair for Kai and Drewski to just skip the line just because they're Kai and Drewski. You know? And I think that's been a problem with the mainstream push that Kai and them have been getting lately, is because people know how poppin' Kai is now, because people know how poppin' Drewski is now, a lot of these mainstream companies have just been throwing bags at Kai and Drewski just because they know that younger audiences fuck with Kai and Drewski so heavy, that they are a part of the new generation of celebrities and all that. And what it's produced is a level of inauthentic marketing that I just do not fuck with. I do not fuck with. I actually have not watched Friday in full. I'm sorry. I know of Friday, but I haven't watched it in full. I just know it's an iconic movie. That's all I know. But yeah, I actually do agree. I think a cameo is fine. You know, maybe even a scene, right? But Kai and them getting like a lead role in Friday, I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair. You can't say nothing about it then. I mean, it would apply to, I'm going to be honest with you, it would apply to any movie. It would apply to really any movie right now. And the reason why I brought up JJ Redick is like, bro, Kai has no acting experience. I'm sorry. Commercials ain't cutting it. You know what I'm saying? Little trailers aren't cutting it. If we're talking about lead roles, again, Kai just getting a lead role is crazy. That's insane. If he wants to be a lead role in like an indie film, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. But I also think for streamers and just content creators in general, sometimes y'all try to force being mainstream way too hard. Way too hard. You know what I'm saying? Y'all try to do mainstream things just for the sake of doing mainstream things when y'all don't have to. I think there was like, and I'm glad we've moved on from this. There was a point in time where YouTubers felt as if the next step in their career just had to be making music. It just had to. You know what I'm saying? To reach the next level, I gotta be a rapper. I gotta be a musician. But that's not the case. That's not the case, especially now with how big content creation is. Like, you could just stay a content creator and just leave it at that. You don't gotta do anything more. This is all you fucking need. So that's where I'm worried with Kai and them. And, you know, he did say he's found the balance so that none of his core shit is gonna get affected. But, you know, I just hope that's the case. Because I've seen way too many content creators not keep the main thing. And it's just backfired so many times. Like, they kind of overstate their influence and what got them there. So now they just stop creating content. They stop doing all these different things that got them to where they are. So, wishing the best for Kai, though. Wishing the best for Kai. But, yeah. Don't jump the line. Don't jump the line. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing. While YouTube is still thriving. All right. Let's see what else we got, chat. See what else we got. Bro, the porn bots is going crazy on Twitter, man. We gotta stop, man. Yo, bro, I keep seeing this Cooper flag shot, bro. Is this a bad shot? Can we just talk Cooper real quick? Is this a bad shot for real?
And look at the personal challenge defensively. Roberts making life difficult. Great contest. Cooper got a good look, but then also getting the rebound there. Great contest without fouling.
That's not a bad shot, bro. I'm gonna be honest. That's not a bad shot. He just missed. Sometimes you take a good shot and you just miss, man. He just missed.
Without fouling. Now tell you, this Cougar team here, sensational effort here down the stretch.
They are going to go to the monitor to check on the timing. I felt like they blew the...
Look at this dude's reaction. I'm dead. I seen someone on Twitter say, yeah, I can tell Jason Tatum's his favorite player. Nah, he just gotta get brought up every time, right? Every time he just gotta get brought the fuck up, right? This is insane. This is insane. Okay. Let's move on to this situation right here.
I don't know if
oh wow, he can't do Airbnb streams as a whole. Okay. So Black Boy Max announces that he can no longer stream in his Airbnb due to weirdos calling the owners, unfortunately ending his 5-star house series. Oh wow. What happened?
I don't know if y'all remember the first day how we took the flick. I guess I don't know if it's off the flick. I don't know if niggas was just watching the stream, but niggas started calling the house doing weird shit, and now the Airbnb owners found out her kids or his kids. I don't know their gender, but they happen to watch the streams as well. They see everything going on. They've been on it about guests, everything. As you can see, niggas been kind of on eggshells, haven't really been able to do shit. But you feel me? It's threatening to call, people, law enforcement, to get us out of here, threatening to kick us out of here. I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but I've had 2 fried Airbnb accounts already just off of, doing this shit. It's like, if I lose this one, I can't never do nothing ever again. So, I can't lose this one. But, that's what's happening. If this bad review or whatever, I get booted out, this one is probably Chef Boyardee. So, it's cooked. So, I do got to dip. And, that's what I've been doing all day, trying to get this shit sorted. So, I do apologize to y'all. Of course, I apologize to my bros, too. Obviously, I love y'all niggas, but... yeah, I can't stream in this bitch no more. None of us can. So yeah, I apologize, guys. You feel me? Still gonna try to do this in the future. I just gotta get all this shit sorted out.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That seemed inevitable, though. That seemed kind of inevitable. Cause, bro, I'm sorry. Airbnbs are not made for motherfuckers to host parties and do content. I'm sorry. Like, that's just the harsh truth. That's not what Airbnbs are for. Like, a lot of these are for vacation stays for families. And even you can have a larger group, but this is not supposed to be this place where, random ass motherfuckers are pulling up, y'all getting lit, y'all getting all these different things like that. That's not what this is for. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I was an Airbnb owner, I would be mad too if I rented out. If I had my house rented out by this person and they just had, these rager ass parties, having motherfuckers pull up, do whatever. I think, and especially with Max's cachet at this point, like, I think you can get away with stuff like this if you're a smaller content creator and people don't really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, let's keep it a buck. If we rented out an Airbnb and hosted a podcast where it's just us 4 and, 3 other people, like, no one's really gonna trip on that. You know what I'm saying? But if we had, 1 million subscribers, we're doing a podcast and, we're inviting like 20 people to the crib. Like, I can't pull up. Oh no, they tripping. Like, what the fuck? We can't create content. Like, no, bro. No. And again, just speaking of Max's cachet, like, these clips are gonna be seen. These clips are gonna be seen by people. The chances of Airbnb's owners' kids knowing about Max is higher now more than ever. So yeah. So you're saying I should get a Airbnb to stream Valorant? You can. You can. I think the weird part, did he say something about like his community? Hold on, cause I gotta run that back. He said something about like his community fucking shit up for him.
Remember the first day how we took the flick? I guess I don't know if it's off the flick. As you can see, niggas been kind of on eggshells, haven't really been able to do shit. But you feel me? It's threatening to call, people, law enforcement, to get us out of here, threatening to kick us out of here. I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but I've had 2 fried Airbnb accounts already, just off of doing this shit. So yeah, I can't lose this one. But that's what's happening. If this bad review or whatever, I get booted out. This one is a dip. And yeah, that's what I've been doing all day, trying to get this shit sorted. So I do apologize to y'all. Of course, I apologize. I can't stream in this bitch no more and everything. As you can see, nigga Airbnb owners found out her kids or his kids, I don't know their gender, but they happen to watch the streams as well. They see everything going on. They've been on it about guests, everything. As you can see, niggas been kind of on eggshells, haven't really been able to do shit. But you feel me? It's threatening to call, people, law enforcement, to get us out of here, threatening to kick us out of here. I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but I've had 2 fried Airbnb accounts already.
This is in the beginning?
I don't know if y'all remember the first day how we took the flick. I guess I don't know if it's off the flick. They see everything going on. I've had 2 fried Airbnb accounts already.
Okay, I thought he mentioned something about like his chat getting involved. Why is he crying? I don't think anyone's crying. If Max had a normal community that wasn't weird and his guest was respectful, he wouldn't have this problem. Yeah, I think that's a part of it too. It's just the guests that he invites on is because a lot of them are D-list rappers that think they're the fucking shit, bro. They be hopping on thinking they the shit and that it's about to get lit in here. And like, no, bro, that's not the situation. I think Max just needs to get his own spot at this point. And they just at this point, they just gotta come to Max's crib. I think the way he set up Central C's, the collab with Central C, where Central C just had to pull up to his house, that's probably the move, bro. That's probably the move. I think renting out another person's property to do all this shit is just way too risky at the rate that he's doing it. Like, I think it'd be different if, because I think Kai, for the Mafia-thon, like, he rented out his big-ass mansion, but that's like a one-off thing. Max rents out a lot of Airbnbs for his content. You know what I'm saying? And he's just playing a very, very risky game here. Yeah, he's just playing a very, very risky game. I would even imagine, why couldn't he find like just a legitimate studio space, like made for content creation? I feel like he can find one of those for these streams. Like, it doesn't have to be an Airbnb. Yeah. He just can't be doing it like 3-4 times a month. I think that's where it gets crazy. But yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Okay. Let's see what else we got here, chat. Additional Yap content. Why does Brent got a lot of LeBron songs on here? It's just a bunch of LeBron songs. What the fuck? Create a tier list of the LeBron songs. Man, what you got going on, bro? We got a major Bron fan on production staff, man. I need y'all to know that. We got some major Bron fans in chat, bro. All right. Let's really yap at this point. Chat, what was the last book y'all read? What was the last book y'all read? What was the last book y'all read, man? The reason why I asked that is I was just thinking today, man. Is it bad that the last I feel embarrassed to say this, man. Is it bad that the last real book I've read from start to finish was Percy Jackson all the way back in middle school? I feel like that's bad, bro. Like I'm talking about the last book that I took initiative to read, and it wasn't for homework, it wasn't for, you know what I'm saying, assignments or anything like that. The last book that I read from start to finish was Percy Jackson. Is that bad, chat? I think that's bad, bro. Last real book I read was the Quran. Some of y'all saying the Bible. I mean, I feel that, but I know it might sound crazy. But does that count in this? Like, I'm talking about, like, you don't read hella. I stopped reading books as a hobby in middle school. Michelle Obama's memoir. I read a couple chapters of a book before, and you know what's crazy? I've been wanting to read more. I think reading is a lost skill, man. I know that sounds crazy, chat. Reading is a lost skill, man. 50 pages than the next book. I think people can still read, but people, like, the extent that people read nowadays is like a 3-minute article on some blog post, or like just reading captions of a fucking TikTok, or reading tweets. And even if it is one of the longer tweets, what is that, like 280 characters? Like, that's the extent most people are reading at now. But yeah, I think we all should make it a point to read more. Make it a point to read more. I think that's one of the biggest fallacies, I guess, when it comes to the internet. Is I think it's good that we have a lot of this information in the palm of our hands, right? We have all these different perspectives and at the palm of our fingertips. Like, I think that's good. However, the bad in that is that when you're trying to learn something, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. So, for example, I have, there's so many tutorials out there on how to code, right? But I would argue, if you're trying to learn how to code, it is actually very important to just have one person teaching you their method than trying to learn all these different methods, because that's going to confuse you. You know what I'm saying? I would much rather learn someone's specific methodology and just get that down pat and know how they think, than learn this one thing from 5 different people and they're teaching it 5 different ways. That's the problem with the internet. I think that's the problem with people learning as well, is that there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Bro. So, yeah, we gotta read more, man. Hella people who are adults and don't spend all day online read on a regular basis. My girl actually reads a lot. She reads like 130 books. I think she's already read 130 books this year. Like, she be reading, like, she got a Kindle and everything. Loves going to the library and things of that nature. So, yeah, we're like polar opposites in that front. But yeah, bro. Yeah, your wife? Not my wife yet. But yeah, she cooks me with how much I don't read. I'm not gonna lie. She be roasting me with that shit, bro. Cause I've requested books for like certain occasions before, like as a gift. I just haven't read them. 130 books this year. Or maybe, was it 130 books last year? I don't know. She told me some number earlier because I told her I wanted to talk about this. She's like, I mean, if you want to mention, I read this amount of books. I'm like, babe, this ain't about you. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about you. Type shit. But yeah, man. Last book, Percy Jackson. It was a great read. Okay. Someone in chat, not someone in chat, I need to mention you by name. ATM season wanted me to talk about Chapel Roan. Let me see if I can find something. Because I've seen a couple conversations about her that's interesting. She's been getting a lot of hate recently. Because she was on a podcast. Let me see if I can find the clip.
How can these girls...
Let me see. Where is this clip? I think it's this one. Okay.
How can these girls tour, write, perform, interview, sleep, eat, and work out, and like how can they do it all and lead a team and be a boss and pay people and like and be like so politically educated? It's exhausting, and it's also impossible. Also, why the are you looking to me for some political answer? You think I have the answer?
But you're like, listen to my song, bitch. Turn it up.
Like, I'm a pop star. I wish I had the answers. I wish the president was a pop star, but she's not. How can these girls...
This is what happens when you do a podcast interview with no plan. You may be saying something smart and valid, but you come off as out of touch and unhinged. Unless, of course, that was the goal, to rack up the views and attention. All right, let's read some of the comments here. She should ask SZA, Doechii, Kendrick. They seem to be doing all right politically as well. I can't believe she is 27 and fully acts like she's 19. I feel her label wasn't provided. Her media trainer... What is this? What am I supposed to do with this information? I think this is the wrong clip. Is it this one?
What fascinates me about Chapel Roan, because I've seen a lot of discourse about her most recent interview, but what fascinates me the most is that the life that she seems to want to live is completely attainable, but she's not doing that.
Let me see if I can find a video on this, because I think the conversation is about her complaining about her fame. Like, she's on some being a pop star is harder than the 9-to-5 shit. The LA accent pisses me off. Let me see if I can find something, chat. Hold on. Chapel Roan's narrative is exhausting. Okay, let's see what this video is about. She's supposedly a big advocate for the LGBTQ people, but as soon as it's time to stand on business, she doesn't. Did you see the guy on Twitter who lost his girlfriend of 3 years because he gooned out too much to Japanese porn? No, I didn't. Why do y'all think I know this shit? All right, let's see this video.
All right, let's go. Hi, muckers. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very, very, very well. Okay, today we're going to talk about Chapel Roan. Now, we have not talked about Chapel Roan in a long time on this YouTube channel.
Okay, that voice annoys me. I cannot watch that. Let's see if we can find some tweets about it, y'all. Let's see if we can find some tweets about it. If not, it's cooked, man. It's probably cooked.
Tour, write. How can these girls tour, write, perform, interview, sleep, eat, and fucking work out, and like how can they do it all and lead a team and be a boss and pay people and like and be like fucking so politically educated? It's
Yo, why are y'all talking about her cake? Y'all are crazy. I've seen the footage though. Y'all ain't wrong. Okay, y'all ain't wrong. Okay, so I think I've gotten the gist of why she's getting cooked. Essentially, everyone is saying, I'm getting mad deja vu right now. I don't know if, oh my God, I don't know what is causing deja vu about this moment. I'm getting mad deja vu. But essentially, she's getting cooked because she's making it seem like pop stars and, you know, these high-level musicians just live the hardest lifestyle in the world. How can they eat, sleep, work out, be a girl boss, all these different things? And a lot of people are cooking her because she's sounding like one of those, you know, those content creators that say content creation is harder than the 9 to 5. But I mean, she makes some decent points. I think the problem when it comes to talking about the struggles of celebrities is that people don't want to hear celebrities talk about struggling. But in actuality, celebrities do struggle with a lot of different things, and I don't think it's right to just invalidate their struggles. That's the problem when it comes to this discourse right here, is this idea of like, man, you're rich, you're famous, we don't want to hear this. And to be fair, I do get where the frustration comes from. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this economy, in this climate. Man, I ain't trying to hear Chaperone complain about how do y'all eat? How do y'all eat? Like, I get it. I get it. I just think she worded it really badly. She worded it really badly. It's also because she was incredibly aggressive with Kamala in her campaign, but since Trump has taken office, all of a sudden she's quiet. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's read the comments. How can these girls do all these things but still be politically educated? I don't know, the same way men can't. Men can, excuse me. Stop setting the rest of us up because you're ignorant. Holy shit. How can a girl eat and still be politically educated? I'm dead. I've been saying she's not built for this. I wish the president was a pop star. Okay. No, she ate. Down with this. I barely have enough energy to get out of bed most days. That's because you're lazy. No shade. I agree with her. I don't care. Pop stars and celebrities aren't obligated to speak on every issue, especially if they aren't educated on those things. I mean, I agree. I agree that, again, we shouldn't be looking at these celebrities for their political opinions most of the time. But if y'all are telling me that, like, she is one of those celebrities that have made it a point to talk about politics, but then all of a sudden she doesn't want to be viewed as, you know, this person that talks about politics, I think that is where it gets a little bit backwards, right? Like, you can't talk about politics so much and then all of a sudden it's on some, but I'm just a pop girly. I'm just a musician. Just listen to my music. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think one of the people on TikTok did make this point, because I've seen some of the discourse. If that really was your goal, right? If it really was your goal to just be a musician and, you know, people just listen to your music and you go home and just mind your own fucking business, there are artists that do that now. Right? I think Sabrina Carpenter, within her field, Sabrina Carpenter is a perfect example of this. No one is looking to Sabrina Carpenter for any political takes. People just enjoy her music and go to fuck home, or not enjoy her music and go to fuck home. And it's because of the fact that I don't think she's ever made it a point for her to make any political statements within her content, you know, within her music and all these different things. But Chappell is not that, right? Like, Chappell is not that. You know what I'm saying? She's made it very clear that she is pro and anti certain things. She's talked about politics before just blatantly. So again, you cannot be this person that does engage in these conversations, that do want to be an advocate for these things and have made that a part of your brand. And then all of a sudden, because things aren't going your way, now you just want to make music. That's all you want to be known for. Like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. But let's see, not saying this makes us better or worse. I just thought, okay, so there may be a little bit more context. Let's see if the context helps.
So people expect me to play by different rules because I'm gay and I should be more politically correct about that, and I should actually be way more knowledgeable about it. And so I get asked a lot of fucking crazy questions that a lot of my peers would not get asked.
It's like Aiden and Sneeko wanting to distance themselves even though they built the audience that's full red pill. Yeah, I think that's a good example. Like Aiden and Sneeko have made it a point to make politics a part of their content for years now. You can't just all of a sudden say, yo, why the fuck are y'all looking to me for political content? Like, I just want to vibe. I just want to stream. Like, yo, stop being toxic towards me. Like, bro, you spent years talking about politics on your stream, trying to make this political pivot. And now all of a sudden, you just want to be an IRL streamer that does E-dates and plays games? Like, fuck out of here. We didn't forget the last 3 years? What the fuck?
Asked. And that's because I'm gay. And that's because, like, I have, like, my opinions, but that doesn't mean I'm, like, completely... Like, I don't know everything about every topic I have opinions on. Like, I don't know everything about, like, being gay. Like, I don't know everything about being a woman. I don't know everything about fucking fashion or drag or performing. Like, I try to know everything I can. But, like, when I don't answer a question correctly or, like, I don't acknowledge one community, it's like, how can I do it all? Like, how can these girls tour, write, perform, interview, sleep, eat?
Why does she make it a point to do the eat? Don't forget about eating.
And eat. And fucking work out. And like, how can they do it all and lead a team and be a boss and pay people and like, and be like fucking so politically educated? It's exhausting. And it's also impossible. Also, why the fuck are you looking to me for some political answer? You think I have the fucking answer?
But you're like, listen to my song, bitch. Turn it up.
Like, I'm a pop star. I wish I had the answers. I wish the president was a pop star. But she's not.
Nah, she's tripping. She's tripping. Because again, if you wanna be this apolitical artist that don't want political attached to your name, the lane was there. The lane was there, and I don't even think that's like her necessarily being gay or not. Like, I think even if she was gay, there's a lane for her to just create music and just get the fuck out the scene. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, if you ain't ready, get out the paint. If you ain't ready, get out the paint. That's what it seems like is going on here. That's what it seems like is going on here. All right, chat. Anything else y'all want me to talk about this stream? Anything else y'all want me to talk about this stream? The Minecraft movie. I seen some of the clips from the Minecraft movie. That shit does not interest me whatsoever. I don't know what's going on with the Minecraft movie. That shit looks ass. The thunder. What do you want me to talk about for the Thunder, bro? Okay, let's watch some little clips here.
Reality TV show back in the day. He's trying to get into this shit. I ain't gonna lie though, Kai really did his thing though, because bro, I'm not gonna lie. The reason why you're like, who the fuck this person is? That's Kai. That's Kai's influence. Yeah, he made rappers want to put down the mic and pick
say,
up
fuck that. I'm getting.
Yeah.
That was Kai, bro, and that's what I'm saying. That's Kai made this shit so much bigger and commercialized the fuck out of this. So it's like, what he did is like you can't even like discredit anything that he's ever done, because it's like he made it to where every single person is watching Kai and be like, okay, nah, this is fucking cool. Fuck what I got going on. I want to pick up a camera and a mic and start live. So Kai definitely made that shit, bro. He made that shit so big, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he did, chat. And
what's your relation?
Pause. I agree. I agree. I think that is one of the things I actually want to talk about, bro. I think everyone wanting to be a streamer specifically, and who is to credit for that? Who is to credit for that? I think Aiden is a part of that. I think Kai is a part of that. But I think I think streaming culture, chat, has legitimately changed what it means to be a content creator. Because I have been in the game long enough, chat, that being a content creator at one point was just synonymous with being a YouTuber. Oh, you want to be a content creator? Yeah, I want to be a YouTuber. And no one batted an eye. No one batted an eye. But I feel like we're in an age now where, I'm not going to lie, the YouTuber is dying. And I know that sounds crazy as I'm streaming on YouTube. But what I mean by that is the appeal of someone blowing up in content creation, being the person that makes 10, 20, 30-minute videos. I think that realm of content is like, maybe dying is the wrong word, but it's not what people want to thrive and aspire to be now. And I know that may be a hot take, but that's just how I feel. I feel like a majority of people that want to get into content now either want to be TikTokers, they want to be podcasters, or they want to be streamers. A majority of people, right? I'm not saying that the YouTuber still doesn't exist now, but I think the landscape has changed that I feel comfortable saying that. And I think like streaming has even allowed for certain YouTubers to get like a second, third wind. Like, I want to shout out DDG in this regard. Bro, DDG, the numbers he's pulling and the growth that he's had this year has been absolutely insane. I've seen DDG pull like 70, 100K into streams this year in a very short amount of time. I seen Zeus and Bilu take the streaming pivot seriously, and I see their clips all the time on TikTok, and they're fucking hilarious. Not familiar with Funny Mike, but I think decent amount of people have also like put Funny Mike in this category of like the old YouTuber becoming streamers and succeeding in it. It's revived a decent amount of people's career, and you know, some may argue that this is like their peak right now. You know what I'm saying? Deshae has been trying his hardest to make the streaming pivot work, and I've talked about Deshae a decent amount of times on this channel. And for Deshae, it's not working out. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think DDG is literally what Deshae wants to be, or at least like the success he's getting. That's what Deshae wants, and this is not working out for him. And I think it's cool to see when it succeeds. But going back to Deshae, I also think some people are just forcing the streaming pivot way too hard. Way too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think streaming is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. But I think we live in this bubble right now where people feel as if to make it as a content creator, like you gotta be a streamer. Like, streaming is just a new wave. You gotta hop on it. When in reality, you don't have to be a streamer to succeed. You can actually still succeed as a YouTuber. And I think a lot of YouTubers, there'd be a lot more up and coming YouTubers if streaming culture didn't take over so much that people felt as if they just gotta be a streamer. I think there's a lot of streamers out there that would be successful YouTubers. They just don't even know it because they don't want to give it a shot, because they believe they gotta be a streamer. When that's just not the case. Or maybe not even being a streamer, right? Like, what if you're one of those people that, you know, being a streamer ain't your lane, but maybe being a podcaster is your lane. Maybe being a TikToker is your lane. But you won't ever know because you're so stuck on this, like, oh, streaming is the new wave type of thing. And you just become another streamer that's streaming 20 hours a week to 5 people when you probably could have had like 1,000 followers by now if you just made like good offline content. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just, there's always some pros and cons. Always some pros and cons to think, to things. I think another example of this in the other way is Davis. Like shout out to Davis. But there were years, I think people have just given up now. But there were years where people were begging Davis to stream. Yo, Davis, you're in a streaming group. Yo, you're in AMP. You know, you're with Kai. You gotta stream. And people ended up like calling Davis a fucking failure, saying like he's holding the group back. Same thing with Chris because he wasn't streaming. But in reality, I think it was on some, bro, he's just not a streamer. The workflow of being a streamer isn't motivating him. The content that you make as a streamer isn't motivating him. And certain people are just built to be YouTubers. Certain people are built to be editors and behind the scenes people. I always thought that was corny. This like forcing Davis to do something he clearly doesn't want to do. Like, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. SLZ intern says not everyone needs to stream. Some creators are not built for that. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, bro. Like, I get the appeal when it comes to streaming. Don't get me wrong. I love streaming. I'm streaming right now for a fucking reason. I could easily be doing this podcast offline. Like, I like streaming. I get the appeal of it. But sometimes it's just way too fucking forced. It's just way too forced. But I'm glad, though. I really am glad when I see it work out. Like, I think I'm very happy for DDG and how it's worked out for him. Because I think one of the concerns when it comes to content creation is always the longevity of your career. You know what I'm saying? That's always been the fear in the back of my head. Is like, okay, I'm doing well now, but is this something that's going to be sustainable for a 10 to 15 year career? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of your favorite content creators only peaked for 4 to 5 years, but then after that, it's on some like, damn, what do I do next? And a lot of content creators get lost. You know, you've been out of the traditional job market for years. You've been out of college for years, and that degree means less and less every single year because, okay, you got, like, even if you got a degree, let's just say you got a degree. Bro, you've been a YouTuber for the last 5 years since you graduated. It's been 5 years since you graduated. What does that degree even mean in the context of you applying for this job? I'm not just about to hand you a job because you got a degree. You know what I'm saying? So all these different things. So I am definitely happy when I see content creators find a successful pivot that essentially extends their career by 3-4 years. And I think DDG and his ascension in the streaming game is something that's going to extend his career even further. And DDG's been in the game for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? Zeus and Bilu have been in the game for a minute now. So I think, you know, these guys are setting the blueprint for what it means to be a sustainable content creator. And I think a part of that is consistently reinventing yourself. I think even before then, a really big example of that to me has been Agent. Shout out to Agent. Consistently reinventing himself so that, you know, he's never stuck in a box. Never stuck in a box. And what he has is like essentially these 2 to 3 year periods where he's known for this one thing, and then he just pivots onto the next thing. And then he's going to be known for that next thing for 2 to 3 years, right? And then he's going to move on to the next thing and be known for that next thing for another 2, 3, 4 years. And next thing you know, you built this career that's lasted 7, 8, 9 years, right? But for a lot of your favorite content creators, they find that thing and they just burn it to the ground and never pivot because that's how they know to succeed in social media. You know what I'm saying? I think for me personally, if I stayed an NBA YouTuber, a off-camera voiceover NBA YouTuber my whole career, chat, I would have stopped doing content creation 5 years ago. I'm being so serious. I would have stopped doing content creation 5 years ago. I would have peaked 5 years ago. Let's Keep It a Buck would have never been a thing. SOLZ and Sage would have never been a thing. I'm being so serious. But it's because of the fact that I had the foresight to know that I needed to reinvent myself at some point. That I needed to branch out and be known for different things. I think that is one of the things that have made me one of the vets in the game. You see what I'm saying? You know? I'm a second ballot Hall of Famer in this shit, chat. I'm being so serious. But that's not a toot my own horn, though. That's not a toot my own horn. But I really am one of them ones, though. Y'all gotta stop playing with me. Y'all gotta stop playing with me. Anam says reinventing, but also not selling yourself out is key. I agree. Okay. Let's see what else we got, chat. Let's see what else we got. Oh, you know what I actually want to do? We talked about this on the pod. And I want to talk about it here.
Adam
Adam 22's broke, bruh.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis. How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And
I'm not gonna lie, chat. COVID got a lot of content creators fucked up, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I think Let's Keep It a Buck was also a victim of that. Like I'm being so serious because for people who know how Let's Keep It a Buck blew up, we were killing it during COVID. Like our shorts boom came during COVID, right? Those months where we were getting 30, 40,000 subs per month, that was during COVID, right? But as time went on and things started to recalibrate to the norm, I think everyone's true numbers started to show, right? So now we're in a place where we got this insane amount of growth. But because things have recalibrated, we've been stuck at 200K for years now. We haven't had as many viral moments as we once did. A part of, like, I don't want to blame this all on the market and the algorithm because we've definitely fucked up in other regards as well. But yeah, we got spoiled by the growth. I would say this. We got spoiled by the growth in the numbers in 2020 and 2021. And now that we're seeing our numbers, it feels like we're failing as a podcast. At least in some days. Like, it's like, damn, bro, we can't. You know, we're losing subs. We're plateauing. You know, our numbers aren't growing. Like, what the fuck is going on? But I think in actuality, like, we are just where we're supposed to be. And what we were experiencing in 2020 and 2021, that was an outlier year. Those were outlier years. That wasn't supposed to happen in a timeline where the pandemic didn't happen. And I say that to say, I think when it comes to No Jumper, Adam is literally saying it. They experienced the same thing. You know what I'm saying? 2020, 2021 was a great year for them. They were experiencing crazy numbers, and they thought that this was going to be the norm. This was going to be the norm. So let's expand out. Let's get a studio. Let's increase hiring. Let's increase our expenses based off of these 2 years. And now they have a situation where, hey, man, the studio still costs the same. You know what I'm saying? Employees still want the same amount of money that they've been making. They're not taking a pay cut. You know what I'm saying? I think Adam has had a kid recently too, so now, you know, he's responsible for more things. And essentially, lifestyle creep has kept up. Expenses have moved up, but revenue has not kept up with it. So,
unfortunately, that did not happen. Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. Our Patreon, which was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree, fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk and a decreased interest in seeing us interview stars. In addition to that, you might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023. Although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since then, that certainly took a toll on our business for a while as well. All that stuff hurt the business, but we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months, where we experienced 2 major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We've had no luck getting it back despite being in contact with what seems like every Instagram recovery guy on the face of the planet. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account, and that mostly vanished overnight. And while we've been growing the new No Jumper LA account up ever since and managing to sell sponsored collab posts using my Instagram and the No Jumper LA account, DM or email if interested, we aren't making anywhere near as much from Instagram now. Side note, if you're a Meta rep, please DM me. I would love to speak to anyone who...
So, from the outside looking into, from what I know of No Jumper, they have done a horrible job of being involved in hip-hop moments. I think they have leaned so much into West Coast, from my understanding, like West Coast gang culture, and like getting all these like D-list rappers on the scene, that like when something big happens within hip-hop, they don't even talk about it anymore. From my understanding, like, I don't remember what Adam and them was doing when the Kendrick Drake shit was happening. I don't remember what they've been doing during, like, the Cardi release where they talking about that. Like, for a platform built off of hip-hop and rap, like, just sticking to that. Y'all have done a horrible job. Horrible job.
Who could help with this. And second, in addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion. It's insane to me that a person that we did so much for can just invent some grievances out of thin air and cost us this much money as a result. This person has literally lost every single friend that he used to have when he worked at No Jumper. His streaming career has completely tanked, and he even got kicked off the podcast that he left No Jumper to start. But somehow, that's our reality, and we have to fight this rather than just give in to this piece of shit. So as a result of all these circumstances, we are making some changes. Over the last few months, we laid off multiple employees in an attempt to reduce our expenses as much as possible. We closed down our store on Melrose, and we're in the early stages of selling our current warehouse and moving into a smaller space. To be honest, aside from the layoffs, which sucked, I'm pretty happy about a lot of these changes. I've realized that I should have paid more attention to DJ Vlad and kept my overhead as low as possible, particularly in terms of staff and location. I'm confident that once we get the building sold, we'll be in a pretty solid financial position again. As
So, couple things here. I think ultimately this is just bad content business by Adam. So one, again, y'all shot up y'all expenses way too much. But on top of that, I think this is something that a lot of content creators do way too fast. And people might think at 1 million subs, all right, we got to move different. 2 million subs, we got to move different. One of the beauties about content creation, this is why it's been so profitable, specifically profitable. Maybe not as much revenue generating as other businesses, but profit-wise, this is why it is what it is. You can make so much money with little overhead when it comes to content creation. And that is something that content creators need to take advantage of. Absolutely need to take advantage of. You know what I'm saying? So what a lot of big content creators have found is that once they hire more, it doesn't necessarily mean that they make more money, more revenue, or that the content even gets better because of it. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of things in content, it actually is more beneficial for you to keep your team lean, to keep your team small, because the beauty of content creation is the fact that it isn't corporate and that you can get things done very, very quickly. So when you add, all these different processes to your business, it actually ends up backfiring on you a lot of times. And we're seeing it right now with Adam 22. It's backfiring on him as we see. But also, I think this is also a lesson when it comes to brand friendliness. I don't know if that's the right word. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that there are so many different ways to monetize your content, right? You can get a Patreon. You can make money on AdSense. You know what I'm saying? You can get super chats, all these different things. But Adam's business model has relied so much on being edgy, on as being raw and authentic as possible, to the degree that he's literally doing OnlyFans content and porn content, that the main way he makes money now, chat, is via AdSense and is via fan-funded sources of revenue. And fan-funded sources of revenue is cool, right? So we're talking about the Patreons, the super chats, all these different things, right? The tips, all these different things. Like, fan-funded revenue is cool, but it's not as sustainable as a lot of people make it out to be. You know what I'm saying? I think the theory is that, okay, if you make fan-funded revenue, it actually is sustainable because you're being paid directly from your audience and it's reoccurring revenue. But the reality is that shit is just as volatile as AdSense. Especially if you're not a growing business. And speaking on AdSense, if your business model is relying on AdSense, it becomes this thing where you just become more reliant on viewership and views and, getting the most clippable moments and all that different shit. But I say that to say, I think a lot of this could have been avoided if they were just making brand-friendly content, had a lot of sponsorship dollars come in, and that was the basis of how much revenue you're making and how much money you can spend on your business. Right? Because for those who don't know, when you get a sponsorship bag, that shit is concrete, right? They're going to pay you $1 million for 5 posts, 6 retweets, whatever it is. Like, that shit is concrete. And it's easier to make sure that you got the certain capital that you need to run your business, as opposed to this thing that just fluctuates every single month, because you may have more views this month, you may have more views that month, you may have more donations this month, you may not have more donations this month, right? So I think a lot of this could have been avoided if they just became brand friendly and weren't so fucking edgy. But that's the price you pay when you want to be so edgy and you want to be so, authentically yourself, and you want to lean into the gang banging content, you want to lean into the OnlyFans content, the porn content so much that Nike don't want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Working with Apple Music, all that shit, that's just not even in the cards. So you go ahead, keep making your money through YouTube AdSense, keep making your money through your Patreon and your OnlyFans content, and you're really missing out on real big bucks because you want to do porn so bad. Like it's dumb. It's dumb, bro.
As a business. Oh, and I also just want to note that I am talking about No Jumper as a business. I've got another business in the form of Plug Talk, and I've got a pretty decent investment portfolio on a personal level. I mean, shit, I'm not $2 million in debt, and I never had to file for bankruptcy like T-Rel. But I honestly spend pretty much all of my time trying to create as much content as possible with No Jumper, and I can't really justify doing so unless the fundamentals of the business make sense. It was a big decision to share this stuff with you guys, but at a certain point I realized that I've been honest with the world about just about everything in my life over the years, and it felt wrong to keep all this stuff that we've been dealing with in secret. So I know what you're thinking. What can you do to help? Well, I do have some ideas, which I'll sort into 3 categories here: free, cheap, and generous. Free. Obviously, I'm infinitely thankful to anyone who watches our content at all, follows us on the @NoJumperLA Instagram, and we're just going to be prioritizing a lot of our most requested content and trying to do that live for member advice and opinions on your music submissions with 1 free submission per month and discounted additional songs. Basically, we're just trying to do as much as possible for anybody who's down to join.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. This is all fan-funded revenue. They are desperate. Boy. Yeah, they are extremely desperate. Jesus fuck. That's bad. That's bad. I think that's a tough part about content creation, chat, is as much as we want to avoid it, advertising and brand relations is just a part of the game. It just is, even to the AdSense degree. Like, it's just a part of the game. Like, we will never live in a content world where advertising is just not a part of the game. So when you make yourself an entity that is not ad friendly, you will continue to struggle. You will continue to struggle, especially at the scale that No Jumper is doing things. Yeah, this shit is going to get harder and harder by the day. Unless they do a complete revamp of what No Jumper means, which I think they can.
Adam and Whack.
But will they do it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Didn't he settle a statutory R-word case against a child? Yeah, Adam got a weird case. Okay, let's just say that. Adam got some weird cases. Why is he around? You know, he's not innocent himself. Okay, let's just say that. Okay. With that being said, I think I am gonna end it here. Listen, chat. I appreciate y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all for rolling through. Shout out to the 117 in the building. All right. Shout out to the 117 in the building. Shout out to the Yukon Huskies, national champs. Whoop whoop. For winning. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the videos if you haven't already. Like the stream if you haven't already. Leave a 5-star review if you haven't already. With that being said, I'm out of here, man. Peace.